Welcome to the Command Report, your number one news report for the Washington Commanders.
With the offense, is there kind of a step forward you're looking to take this year with Carson, with these extra pieces you've added? How would you define that step you want to take?
Well, what I think is I think I'd like to see the rest of the playbook grow. There are some things that Carson does that, not a lot of other quarterbacks can do with his arm strength, his ability to throw the ball specifically vertically. Do I expect it to step forward? I do. I expect us to be able to really expand on what we've done in the past.
Ron, you had, in your first answer, you talked about taking advantage of some of Carson's skills, opening up the playbook. You've also talked in the past and last year about the 4-game winning streak, running the ball, controlling the clock. How difficult is it to consistently marry those philosophies?
I don't think it's very difficult at all. I mean, when talking with Scott Turner and, Norv's here as well, and I've talked with Norv a lot about that, having worked for him for 4 seasons and having been around him, probably for the last 5 years. That's a big part of it. If you run the ball effectively, you're going to be able to throw the ball effectively. You're going to take the pressure off the quarterback to have to constantly make plays. If you're throwing the ball well, you're going to open up the running game. So to be able to do those things together in a collaborative effort, I think is going to create some real positive things. As I said, during that 4-game streak, those were the things that we did. We ran the ball effectively. I'm trying to remember the exact number, but I believe on the average we ran the ball something like 5 or 6 times more in each one of those wins. And by being able to do that, we take the pressure off the quarterback where he has to make plays.
Chase is back, obviously, this week. Good news there. What does that mean for this team, even if he's not practicing to be around? What does it also mean for you to have him around?
Well, I think it's a good thing. Again, having, one of your veteran players, one of your leaders out and around, in spite of, the fact that he's rehabbing. And again, it's good. I mean, it is voluntary, obviously, and mini camps not for a couple more weeks, but, for the most part, having guys here is very important.
Is it still too early to get a sense of when he's going to be able to participate in practices?
Well, to me it is. I mean, I'm not the doctor, obviously. Doc has been pleased with it. There's a plan. They're working on that plan, and we'll see where he is once we get ready for training camp.
Are you familiar with the place he's rehabbing in Colorado? Have you sent any guys there before, and how did he approach you about choosing to recover out there?
Well, I'm not familiar with it. I have heard of the guy he's working with. I do know, that there is a plan, and that's probably the biggest thing, more so than anything else, is that there is a plan, and we'll continue to work that plan. I mean, he had a checkup with the doctor. The doctor's mapped out, Dr. Andrews and his staff have mapped out the rehab plan. Al Bellamy has it right now, and so while Chase is here, obviously Al will be, doing his rehab for him.
And overall, do you feel like with the new trainer, what happened last year, and then even some of the Trent Williams saga, even those before you, do you feel like you have to rebuild the faith in the training staff, or maybe have the players in that staff sort of get back on the same page?
I'd like to believe we have them already where we need them. The only guy that went somewhere to work out with somebody was Chase. But for the most part, we have everybody else here. And so that's, to me, it's solid. I mean, Chase opted to do that, which is fine. He has the plan. That's probably the most important thing, is as long as he's working the plan.
Talking with Sam just when he came off the field and asked him just what it's like to have Chase back, even though he's obviously not back on the field, but he's that vocal leader, and people love to see that guy on the sideline, and how great it was for you as a coach to see him back with the group and to have him here today. What was that like?
I think it's good. He was here yesterday as well, but having them integrating back into the team setting, I think is important. I think it's great because he is one of those guys that has an infectious energy level about him, and when you bring energy, players feed off the energy. As I said, though, we got to be careful because we don't want to over-ramp practice up right now because we're not in pads. This is really about developing and growing.
We saw Benjamin St. Juste kind of in the slot. Just after his rookie season, he played well on the outside, had the head issues. Just what do you see from him in year 2, and specifically maybe that spot for him?
Pretty excited about him. He's come back. He looks healthy. He's working hard. He's growing. He's developing. He's learning. I'm real appreciative of that. There's some things that you can do with a big corner in the slot when they put a big receiver in the slot. So those are some of the things that we have to look at, because again, it's going to be about matching, and you want to make sure you have the right body type on the right type of a player that's in there. So that's kind of what the thought is there. He will play on the outside as well, but we've got to be able to say, hey, we can put a big guy there.
Fuller, it seemed like he really found his rhythm on the outside after starting on the inside. Is there something about the scheme rather that fits his skill set, or anything that allows him to?
I think playing on the outside for him fits him because he plays with vision. He understands that a lot better than a lot of other corners I've seen. The only other guy that I ever really saw that really understood playing with vision was Josh Norman. I think he did it very well. I watched Kendall, and Kendall does that very well.
What are you looking for to see out of Montez Sweat in terms of growth this season, and kind of what more can he do?
I think his presence. I think as far as his skill set goes, it's understanding how to use it. He's got tremendous skill set. He really does. And as he continues to grow and learn and understand how to use it, he becomes more and more dynamic as well. And I think it's the same thing with Chase. Once we get Chase back on the field, it's understanding how to use his skill set, not just the raw power that he has, but the athleticism. And for Montez, it's the same thing. But I think you guys notice he brings a little bit of energy. You hear his voice out there. You hear it and how it ramps things up, which we've got to learn to keep it down. We're trying not to get anybody hurt right now. We're really just trying to learn and grow and develop.
Thanks for tuning in to the Command Report. Please like, share, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell to stay up to date with all the latest Washington Commanders news.